Hello, everyone. Welcome to this spotlight episode of the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. I'm joined by the amazing Laetitia from Essential Shift. And Laetitia and I met at the Rose Farm recently. And when we got to talking, we knew that we were biz besties in the making. We had so much in common. We loved everything that we said. And so I had to get her on the podcast. I'm Tash Corbin, and this is the Heart-Centered Business Podcast. Welcome, Laetitia.
Thank you, Tash, for welcoming me. It was love at first sight.
I know, it was so good, and we really connected. We even met each other at the Oscars party beforehand, and we decided, even though we didn't know each other, we were going to know each other and be friends. So let's take lots and lots of photos in the photo booth. And so we have amazing photos together from the photo booth, just because we knew, we preempted that this would be a strong friendship. So it's brilliant. Laetitia, something that I love about what you do is the way that you help people to bring new businesses to being, bring new offers to being, and really create that alignment for people in business. So that's what I know of what you do. But do you also want to just give us the introduction of what you do in your business?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. So my business is called Essential Shift, and basically the name came to me as a representation of my life. I went through different shifts in my life, and my most important and essential shift was when I really connected the dots, connecting the dot backward, like Steve Jobs would say. I had this moment where I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm meant to be doing. 15 years of experience in strategy consulting and coming from a healer family, I was meant to be weaving together the thread of intuition, spirituality, and strategy, and becoming a business doula, because this is what I define as my role, really being here as a doula to help female business owner. I also attract male and non-binary. I'm open to any gender, but mostly female business owner to birth this truly aligned business and this truly aligned next offering. Yeah. So I support course creator, membership creator, but also a lot of startup, scale up, because I come from this background in tech industry. So I support also a lot of those. The only things that I focus on is impact-driven businesses. If you're here to destroy the planet, I'm sorry, you need to find another business doula. I am only here to help you birth something that is going to be good for the people or the planet.
Yeah, that is so powerful. And actually, that's the reason why I started my business. That was one of the big turning points for me. Was I was working in corporate consulting, and my projects that I really loved that were helping the planet and helping society were cancelled, and I got allocated to mining projects. And so I was like, gosh, I can't do this. And that was one of the reasons why I left corporate. So we are so aligned. I love it so much. So I want to start by talking about intuition, because I think that's the big picture conversation. Why do you think it's so important for us to learn how to listen to our intuition and trust our intuition in business?
Because when we start trusting our intuition and we start training this muscle, we move from the should that someone else is telling you to do. You should do this, you should do that, to the I know and I want. And this shift is an essential shift, but this shift is actually so critical for you to step and stay longer in business. Because if you give your power away and you wait for the next guru in business, the next mentor, the next person to tell you how you should run your business, how you should grow your business, you will create something that you basically hate. Because in the end, you're going back to a corporate role. Yes. You're then not the sacred CEO, as I love to say. You're actually chained to someone else's vision for your business. Whereas when you run your business from the inside out, from your intuition, when it's intuitively led, you're doing things because you want to do them and you know they are the right thing for you. And this is this moment where I was like, doesn't make sense. I'm going to quit multiple six-figure salary, being a general manager for a big firm. If you look on LinkedIn, Laetitia on track, you will know which firm, for a big firm in Australia. And I stepped away. It didn't make sense, but I knew I was ready to step into the sacred CEO and running this business in a way that is intuitive. And I love helping my client to do that. So, and I know we share that with Tash because she came on my podcast that has been released a few weeks ago. So you can go and listen to her beautiful interview with how she teach you how to launch in a way that is intuitive, that is authentic, that is stepping into your authority. And I truly believe that in that step, intuition is a heavy part of it, rather than giving someone else the reign of your business. Stop doing that.
Yes, absolutely. And I think we've also been trained almost in the online business world in particular to let other people decide and follow and do it the way that everyone else does. And if you don't do it that way, you're doing it wrong. And sometimes it's also that marketing approach is training us not to trust ourselves. And that's one of the things that I say over and over again to my clients and to my audience is trust yourself. Yes. There are people like Laetitia and I who can give you advice and help you work out different strategies, but ultimately it's your decision, it's your business, and you need to pay attention to why that doesn't feel like a fit for you or whether it does. And something that we do in my programs and also whenever I run challenges and webinars is I tell people up front, give me your but Tashes. Because I need to know, like if you go, but Tash, it doesn't fit because of this, or but Tash, I'm worried about that. Let's have a conversation about it, because everything, we can work out any marketing strategy. Any marketing strategy can work, but you need to love it. You need to be excited by it. You need to know exactly how it fits into your business and with your strengths. And so if there's resistance or something coming up for you, give me your but Tashes, and I won't just tell you you're wrong. Instead, I will help you work out how to make it feel right, whether that's by changing the strategy slightly, or there's maybe a limiting belief in there, or maybe there's a misunderstanding of what's involved. But it's always your business. So I really love that you're linking that ownership and trusting yourself. That's really what it means to be intuitive, is to listen to yourself first and foremost. So beautiful. And so one of the things that I love that you support people with is that creation of new things, ideation, whether it be a new business or a new offer, getting people into that creative zone and creating something really amazing. Why are you so excited by helping people in the creation space?
I think because before being a business doula, I'm an ideas doula. It's like I help those ideas come to life. And what I was thriving when I was in strategy consulting was those moments where we would take the group of the C-suite offsite in the chateaus that we used to own in, close to Versailles and all of that. So everyone who is listening with Australian may be like, oh, this is a dream. So we take them. And what I would strive with was creating those new business models, those new offerings, I love ambiguity. I love this phase, and this takes trust and intuition, of course, this phase of the process where you're in the dark room, you're in the void, and you don't know what's going to emerge. And actually, the co-creation is magnificent. It's way better than what you would have created on your own.
Yeah.
And I just love holding that space of the mystery where you don't know what's going to emerge from it. And so I'm very good and very comfortable with ambiguity. And I know a lot of my clients may not be.
Yeah.
But actually, I help them start making friends with that space of the void, with that space of the mystery. And then we create from this blank page, from this darkness, from this grotto, from this cave, something magnificent. So I think it's about the experience. Like I've been, doing this for 15 years, but also the fact that I am a very good listener. So I listen not only to what they say, but also to what they're not saying and to what they're showing in their body. And I'm sure you do that as well, Tash. It's like I am listening to the energy, to all of those kind of things. And then it's giving me like so much energy when I facilitate retreat, workshop, session, all of those kind of things. It's actually when I get the most of my energy. And it's so powerful. And I think it's years of training, but also practices and tools that I have, in my toolbox that I try and we test. Is this one resonating with them? No. Okay, it's fine. I have another one. Yeah. The luxury that I have is, as I've been working through this for so many years, I don't have like just one toolbox and then, it's not working for you, so then you should do it and it should work for you. No, okay, this one doesn't work. Let's use this one instead, or let's try this one, or let's actually take a break and go for a slow walk in nature, forest bathing, maybe will be the way we get the idea. So always co-creating with them and being comfortable with the deep listening, the unknowing, and the trusting and the surrendering.
Amazing. It sounds like such a gorgeous held experience as well. And I do think that people feel that sense of needing to know exactly where this is going and exactly what this is going to look like in detail the moment that an idea springs to mind. So I love that sense of taking your time and letting it evolve without having to know all of the answers of all of the detail and how it will all work. That's something that I also love with birthing of businesses. Sometimes people have an area that they want to work in or just an idea of something. They don't know how they're going to monetize it yet. They don't know if it's actually a viable business yet, but we get to play with it, and that's so much fun. So when you see people coming up with new ideas or wanting to create a new business, where do you see that some of the biggest sticking points are, or where people maybe get a bit lost or are making mistakes with creation and ideation?
I love that. I think a lot of people, what's happening with the ideation phase is they don't really put them somewhere where they can go through it and prioritize them. And when I say prioritize them, is really prioritizing it with strategy, intention, data, but also with your intuition and with your energy and what feels right and blah. So that's where, you know, we will find and we will create for you a prioritization matrix that will work for you. But really it's this phase of, oh my gosh, I have all those ideas, so I need to create all of them. And then boom, you're exploding. Or you're not following through with any of them really well, because you cannot, you know, I would take the example of cooking because I'm French. Like, you cannot cook at the same time everything. Even a chef in a kitchen is having sous chef and is having people that are cooking and people who are cutting the vegetable. And like, you need to be with a team. And if you are by yourself, if you're a solopreneur, you need to pick one thing and start testing, iterating, experimenting, and then you can scale it. Whereas a lot of people, they already want, like, I have this idea, I wanted like thousands of people buying it and this much cash flow coming in and this much profit, and like, okay, hold on. Even Coco Chanel started with just one dress. Even, you know, Karl Lagerfeld started with one design. Like, I'm taking the fashion industry here, but it's like, you need to start with one thing, and this one thing needs to feel right for you. So the first mistake is they want to do everything. So they get disgusted, burnt out, overwhelmed, and all of that. The second mistake that I see is they are asking someone else how to do it. When actually, yes, there are frameworks in business. Don't get me wrong, but there are no secret recipe or there are no blueprint. A framework is different to a recipe or a blueprint. A framework is a guidance that can help you, like the riverbank of a river, but then you flow through that. But a lot of people are like, okay, so I need to follow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they just hate it. So they stop in the middle, or they. So the second mistake that I see is they listen to everyone else's advice rather than, again, connecting with their intuition. And the third mistake. Sorry, go ahead.
As well. I think it's no surprise that people get caught in that as well, because I see ads in my newsfeed all the time that say the exact 108 steps to a 6-figure business, or I'm giving you my secret 12-step formula, blah, blah, blah. So it's in the interest of marketers to convince us that there is a secret formula, that there is a process that you just follow and it magically turns every business into a success. But that is not the case. And so, it's no wonder that we get caught in that belief of, well, there must be something I'm missing, or there must be steps that I can precisely follow and everything will work out, because marketers make us feel that way.
Yes. But this is where, you know, ethical marketing is something that I share the battle with you, because if I was to still work for the big corporations that I was in, we would never claim the claims that we see on some ads of some online business owner. We would never, like, it would never go through the risk. It will never go through the branding. It will never go claiming that you can bring in 100 days, 100K. I had an ad today coming and I was like, how can you fucking claim that? When I was working for Bourjois Chanel, developing like cream and so on, we were not even allowed to claim anything on the packaging around the benefit of the cream, even though we had scientific proof that it was delivering the result in, you know, laboratory and testing on this many women. We were not even allowed to write this. So there is like ethical marketing around there. But I completely agree with you. Unfortunately, this is inunding the internet, but Tash and I, we are partnering here to tell you there is no secret recipe. You are the fucking golden ingredient.
Yeah.
It's like if you want to make crepe and you don't have great butter, don't make crepe.
Yeah.
So you are the butter of the crepe or the croissant or the brioche. You are the fucking butter. Without a great butter.
Hungry. I love it.
The fact that you are the butter. You are the person that can create magic by trusting yourself. Yeah. So stop giving away to all those guru and the shoot and the how and the blah, blah. No. And then the third mistake that I see. So the first one, we said we go after so many things that we are not getting anywhere. The second one is we're giving everyone else our power. So we're not trusting our intuition, our authority, our inner knowing. And the third one that I see is we are fucking impatient. I started yesterday, and this is also potentially driven by all of this fake marketing and claim, which is like, I did a story yesterday, and after this story, I made 10K. I'm like, you've shown up on Instagram, on story for the last 10 years, every day. So yes, you can make 10K today, but it's not just today. It's been building up over all those years. So there is like this overnight success that I see a lot of business owner. I got this idea, so tomorrow it is going to create this much new revenue stream. No, it is not. Even in my fastest, expensive, and I'm all about quantum leap, I'm all about expanding time and all of that. So it is possible, yet you build on the resources that you've built across the years. You've built on the communities that you have. You've built on the knowledge that you have, on the experiences and all of that, which create your momentum. So don't expect overnight success with any ideas that we will birth together. It will take devotion, bhakti, dedication. It will take resilience. It will take commitment. It will take a fucking village, your community around you to make it happen. So be patient. And I know when I say that, a lot of people are like, can she be done already? No, you need to be patient.
Yeah, we do. And I think also it creates that sense of pressure on ourselves. Yeah. But also we've seen so many flash and crash businesses as well. Some of those overnight successes that have potentially had their, their big leaps much faster than you would normally see. They also are the people who burn out, or we've seen huge Instagram creators who are making millions of dollars go 1 week after telling everyone, do what I do and you have an amazing business like me and I can teach you everything, to a week later saying, I've created a monster and I'm closing my business down. And so this mindful approach and having patience also gives you the space to be very precise or very considered in your decision making, rather than needing to rush into, I need to make the next thing, I need to create the next thing, I need to promote the next thing. And we see so many people, they're launching 6 things at once. They're jumping from launch to launch to launch, and they're burning themselves out. And then they decide, well, I'm not cut out for business, or business is all just smoke and mirrors, and they're making it mean things that it doesn't mean. It's just that their experience of it has been in that more rushed state. And so, yeah, I love what you've said about this. I think they're 3 big ones. So next, let's talk about that getting in the space of creating something amazing and creating something new. What is the framework or the riverbed that you recommend for people to have around themselves so that this idea can come into fruition?
Oh, I love that. And it's actually the framework that I detail in my book, which is called the Light Framework. So I love acronym. If you're not familiar with my work, you will see I always create acronym for everything, because I am neurodivergent. And for me, acronym helps me kind of, this is where I'm at. So it's really helping me, even when I was learning how to drive, I needed to create acronym, even for my knowing where is my left and my right. I have an acronym, knowing where is the east and the west and I need acronym for everything. So I created this acronym and I wrote a book around it, which will be released on the 21st of September for the spring equinox in the Southern Hemisphere. Everything is intentional. I am not in a rush, by the way. Yeah. Tash and I will be in business for the next 30 years to come. So just be prepared. Before we retire, we'll be here telling you. So I am not in a rush for success in the next 10 minutes. So this is why I created this Light Framework and I wrote this book. And the Light Framework is really about anything you create in your business, reclaiming your intuition and following your inner light. So the L is about leaning in. So when you have this new idea, you lean in towards one, not the hundreds. You lean in, you adopt it, you embody it, you intuitively feel like, this is the fucking thing I'm going to do, which is like what happened with my book. I was like, this book came to me in a meditation. I was like, okay, so I feel like I really need to write this book. So I needed to lean in. So I lean into the idea of writing a book, to the focus and the dedication that I needed to create to write this book. So this is the L. You need to lean in towards one thing.
Yeah.
Then the I of the light framework is for illumination. You illuminate the path forward. So if I go back to the idea of the book, I was like, okay, I need to write a book. I don't know how to write a book. So when do I want to publish this book was the illumination map, like the ending point. But then what are the things that I need to write a book? I need a book mentor. I need to understand the industry. I need to structure my book, find a publisher, all of those kind of things. So this is my illumination map. Then the G of the light is gather. I needed to gather around me all my knowledge, all my experiences, what is in the book, what is outside the book, who is around me, who is my community, who is going to support me in this book launch, all of this gathering. And this can work for any offering. I'm talking about a book here, but if you think about a new group program that you're launching, you need to gather around you. What are you going to teach in this program? Who are you going to need it to help to put the sales page up? Maybe you need a sales copywriter. Maybe you need, an expert in marketing to help you with the content. Maybe you need, a software or a system to put all that. So this is a gathering phase. And then we have the H of the light framework, which is honoring, which is your honor. So you just don't do anything. You're in this moment where you've done everything. You've leaned in, you've illuminated, you've taken the step, you've gathered, and now you are honoring that phase. You are waiting for the thing to happen. And this is where patience comes into place, which is for me, if I take again the analogy of the book, it's when I had to wait for a publisher to pick my book, when I had to wait to gather acknowledgement for my book, when I had to, all of that is honoring. I asked, and I'm waiting. So when you launch a group program, maybe it's you're invited a few people, but rather than rushing and following up and sending the 20,000 emails, you wait and you receive and you stay in that space of nurturing. And then the T of the light framework is for transformation. You have your book in your hand, you have your offer launch, you're starting your group program, you're launching your app as a minimum viable product, you're having your first teacup that you've done with your ceramic and you're starting to go on market. Like this is a transformation. So this is a light framework. It's how I help every one of my clients to go. And as you see, it's not a secret recipe. It is a framework, because along this framework, you can put so many tools, so many approaches, so many things, and it leaves a space for you as a human being, whether you're Taurus or an Aries, whether your moon rising is in Scorpio, or it is because I love to use astrology, or whether you're a manifesting generator or a reflector. It gives you the space to personalize your own strategy.
Yeah, that is so beautiful. I love that honoring phase as well, because we need to acknowledge that there's two sides to any product launch or any creation process, especially in the online business space, because that we need to have people come and buy it. And we can't go into their house and get their credit card out and make them put the number in. We need to allow people that time and space to come to us. And I talk about this in actually my planning system. When we do our review of each quarter, we don't just measure your results, right? Because the results are what is coming to you and you don't have control over those. But what you can control is what is your output. What are you bringing to the table? And so when we separate out those measures, we stop putting pressure on our audience and our product and our launch, because that pressure is something that actually, like, you're trying to control something you can't control. You cannot control whether you have 100 sales or 150 sales. What you can control is what you bring to the table. And when you bring it with that understanding that this is a two-way engagement, you don't then overwork yourself and burn yourself out trying to find every single way that you can encourage someone to join, or every single marketing strategy that has to be done, because ultimately you're training your business what it can expect from you. So what if you trained your business that you show up in this way and you have this marketing approach, And that is enough to bring in the audience
Yes.
and the buyers. So I haven't seen a framework before that has that space. And that age of honoring, I think that is such a big differentiator. It's really beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and it's the one that many people struggle with, with
Mm.
many of my community member, my clients. And when I had like the first reader of the book to acknowledge the book, the L of leaning in and the H of honoring, and potentially the G of gathering as well. But those were the main kind of differentiator. And a lot of my clients, and even myself, hey, I am Pitta in Ayurveda.
Yeah.
I am an Aquarius. I have an Aries moon. I am so driven that I really struggle to honor. Yet when I honor, this is when the magic happens.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think we've all experienced one of those moments where you think, wow, that was magic, or how did that happen? And that comes from that honoring space. Beautiful. So we have your book coming out soon, and I will make sure that we put the link so that people can get on the wait list, or make sure that they're on the list to go get that when it comes out. But also, I know that you have some great free resources as well. You've got a great freebies page. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about that as well?
Yes, sure. So I linking it back to the phase of honoring in my light framework, I'm all about the rituals and making space for you to honor yourself and have your own ritual and so on. So I have a ritual guide where you get a lot of inspiration, and I share with you what are the things that I do, what are the things that I recommend. So you can download this. It's very rich and meaty, and then you can pick and choose intuitively which rituals work for you. You don't need to meditate 20 minutes sitting down every morning in the darkness at 5 a.m. to be connecting with your intuition.
No, thank goodness.
Okay,
I
you
will never
can
do that.
do differently. So this is your permission. So this is a ritual guide. I'm also huge on planning intentionally around the moon. So you can download a free moon calendar, which is beautifully designed, and understand more about the moon sign and the moon cycle, and honor your business and yourself in alignment with the moon cycle. So yeah, you can go and explore. I think we've put on that page about 4 different freebies.
Awesome.
And I also have like the 6 foundation in business. So what are the 6 foundation that you need in business? And it's structured around the DREAMS acronym. So you need direction, you need research, all of those kind of things. Huge on acronym. If you're neurodivergent, you're going to love my content because then you remember, you know where you're going.
I'm an acronym person too, so fabulous. And we will link to that freebies page in the show notes of today's episode. So if you're listening along, make sure that you jump over and check out Laetitia's freebies, because they sound amazing. I'm definitely going to go and grab that moon calendar, because I have an app on my phone, but I actually want something that I can print out and have in front of me. So that's brilliant. I'm going to grab that too.
Cool.
Okay, so is there anything else that, if there are people listening along today and they know, like, I've got this idea, but I just don't know how to bring it into being, what would be your final thoughts or your final advice for them?
If you have an idea that's coming back a few times and you're really feeling it's coming from your intuition, it's not someone else projecting their ego or what you should be doing or what is a success, la la la. If it's really coming from within and you're feeling really, really called to do it, just trust that nudge and start experimenting, reaching out to your closest friend and asking them, what do you think about this? Would you buy it? If they are your ideal customer avatar, don't ask them if they're not. And join a space where you feel supported. So Tash Space is a beautiful space. You're welcome to join my space as well. But it's like, find someone that you connect with that will help you connect with your own intuition to grow that ideas from stardust to something magical. But don't let it dry out, but do it from the inside out, is what I would say. Is really don't take, because we don't realize how much, and I have seen so many of my clients doing business because someone else told them this is a great idea, you should go after it, or this business model has been successful there, so maybe create a startup around it, but they're not attached to it. It needs to start with your why, with your mission, with your intuition, so that you're really committed through the roller coaster of business.
Yeah, because there are hard times, and there are times where you don't feel like working on it today, but there's something that you need to be working on, or there's always that bumpy start in particular. And so really tuning into what's driving you and that it's the thing that you're so passionate about. That's really great. Okay, so in closing, whenever we have someone on the podcast, I always ask at the end, if I was to quote you on something, what would you like me to say?
Ooh. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's prepare this. Reclaim your light and shine bright.
Oh, beautiful. I love that so much. And I'm also going to write on my wall, you are the butter. Because I love that so much. So we get 2 from Laetitia. I'm going to also claim you are the butter, because that instantly I know what that means, and that's such a beautiful analogy as well. So,
but this is how you differentiate a good croissant and a bad croissant. It's from the butter.
It's the butter, and you are the butter. I love that so much. Thank you so much, Laetitia, for joining us in this episode of the podcast. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening along. Go and grab those show notes. We'll have links so you can follow Laetitia on socials, as well as grab those freebies. And until next time, we cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now. Would you like more tips, tools, and resources to help you grow your heart-centered business? Head to tashcorbin.com today.